Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Yeah, I was wrong. I'm on my way to Hong Kong now, to finish something I should have faced a long time ago. And I need you with me. I know we're not blood, and we didn't leave things in a good place. But you and Duncan are the only real family I have. Please, if our past means anything to you, meet me in Hong Kong right away. I'll explain more when you get here. I'm begging you. I'm almost out of time.
So I'm trying to fix this mic so that I can hear the game chat in the mic, and it doesn't seem like it's working. Whatever. Hard landing. Raymond Black, the old man that gave you a home once, took you and Duncan off the gang-ridden streets of the Barrens. Sheltered, educated, slaps and sentenced you both, until you almost resemble reproductive members of society. And then you took off, left it all behind. Landed behind Bart for a time, tried to start a new life after that. It's been 8 years since you've heard Raymond's voice. Until out of the blue you got this cryptic message, a plea for help. Meet me in Hong Kong right away. And why to your account, enough Nguyen to pay for the flight and then some. The descent is rough. Squall comes out of nowhere, sending a solid sheet of rain punching into suborbital orbit, the suborbital transport. With a ragged shudder, the plane finally skids to a halt at the edge of checked lap-cocked tarmac. An hour and an interminable number of emotionless security checkpoints later, you hail a water taxi to Victoria Harbor. Hong Kong looms ahead, pulsing with energy. You step from the churning of the water taxi to the ponderous rocking of the docks, your stomach lurching at the transition. As soon as you clear, the captain nods once and steers the small craft back into the harbor. The man never said a word. He just handed you a worn brown duffel bag when you stepped on board, some stiff new body armor, and a note, better safe than sorry, T. Among smog-thick clouds hang low in the sky, reflecting the lights of the city in a nauseating swirl. The wind changes direction more than once, creating a heady stew of aromas, diesel, sea salt, street food, and filth. It's all you can do to keep your in-flight meal where it belongs. Two figures stand in a dim light of the pier. The first an orc, lean with in-your-face muscles and a jaw made to break fists. The second is an elf, one hand resting casually against her hip. Raymond Black is nowhere to be seen. Why don't you look like shit? Duncan Wu, the closest thing you have to a brother. Haven't seen a man in 8 years. Still charming as ever. He grins. Green's not really a color, Julianne. Doesn't go with that nice new armor I got you. As you open your mouth to respond, something shifts alarmingly in your stomach. A liquid, bubbly sensation. Look, your stomach lurches again as another wave crashes against the pier. Taste of bile fills your mouth. Listen, if you're gonna hurl, get it over with now. We gotta find Raymond. Stand still, you make a great target. I'll pass. He's still got the same baritone rasp. Had it since he was 12. Wu developed early. He never showed up, Julian. It's not like him. When was the last time you saw him? A few weeks ago, before I got his message telling us to be here. I've been working a lot, so I hadn't been by the house in a while. House the same as Mrs. Maloney, still cleaning up a trail of pipe tobacco in his wake. York bowed his head. Mrs. Maloney is dead, Julian. 3 years ago, bad ticker. He couldn't hire another housekeeper after that. He kind of creeped him out. Creeped him out? Raymond hasn't been himself in a long time. Raymond and I remember was a bit distant to begin with. This is different. He's been restless, staying in his study, inside his own head a lot. He barely sleeps anymore. I've been worried about him, but I haven't figured out what to do about it. He looks at you and shrugs. I didn't have a sister to turn to. Hell, wasn't too sure you were even alive still, until Raymond managed to track down your number. We should get going. Duncan, head back to the meeting point in case your dad shows up. Copy that, Sarge. They're wearing Lone Star body armor. Looks like Duncan's gone private police. You his girlfriend or something? Hell no. Corner of her mouth flickers upwards in music. I'm his partner. The woman taps her chest with an armored finger. Carter. Figure used some backup. Didn't know what Ray's gotten himself into. And I wasn't sure you're gonna show up. It's a tossed off remark, but there was undercurrent of resentment in it. You got something to say? Nope. He shakes his head. Hey, look. I'm glad you're here, Julianne. Seriously. But I'm gonna need some time to get used to having you around again. Been a while since I heard from you, know what I mean? Memories of his sleepless nights and lockup flash by. Wonder if you ever see Duncan or Raymond again. Wonder if you even wanted to. And then stepping out into daylight, suddenly free to fall out of some obscure corporate restructuring. A few $100 in the worth of an apology from your former jailers, and the decision to start a new life. Leave the past behind, all of it, until now. I have my reasons. Can we leave it at that for now? Who stares at you, his goggles reflecting the harbor light. Sure. He has the waterfront frowning. Let's just find Raymond. He was supposed to meet us in the plaza on the other side of this pier. The sooner we find him, the sooner y'all can have a big happy family reunion over dinner. Carter grins. And the sooner I can find a place to get a drink around here. Damn right. Head of you, Hong Kong rises serpent-like from the sea. Government and megacorp coiled together, writhing in a basket of institutionalized corruption. No one can tell where the snake's body ends and the tail begins. That's what Raymond used to say. Duncan turns and starts down the pier. Carter follows. Fresh construction is expanding the harbor into the water. Corporate interests can afford to create new streets. Guard checking in, the appears dark and empty. Duncan gives it a push but doesn't budge. Well, that was open earlier. Looks pretty solid. Could there be someone to let us out or something? Yeah, smells a little funny, doesn't it? Carter truck, who knows, it's Hong Kong. Not exactly sure how things work around here. Come on, rookie. We can cut to the construction site. I hate it when you call me that. It is locked. The nearby control panel appears accessible. Carter pulls it open, a metallic screech that pierces his skull, sending a new wave of pain down his churning stomach. Taps control panel for a moment and throws Will backwards lands. Looks like there's another way off the docks on the side of this gate. I think you can bypass the lock. Let me take a crack at it. Enjoy. Civilian air security is light. You bypass the door circuit with ease. The gate rattles open. More Cantonese, too quick to catch. Group in the dock was fishing a package out of a speedboat when you surprise them. Now the fact at the bottom of the bay, the speedboats disappear in the distance. They close on you, red-faced and yelling. Line of the harbor glints off their weapons as they approach. You need to shout something Cantonese, it's too fast to make out. You're rusty? It's been years since Raymond's house, and the language lessons that wouldn't end. The old man never spoke anything but his native language at home. Wu speaks with authority. His Cantonese is solid as ever. He never let it drop. You guys doing some late night fishing? Oh yeah. We're fishing for assholes. Yeah, they need better bait. All you're gonna catch with that is trouble. Whisper Dunk, seriously, did they teach you that at Rent-A-Cop school? Turns to you with a smile starting on his face. Then he thinks better of it, turns back to the smugglers, who flexes his badge. Lone Star, put your guns down. Buckler squints at Wu's badge and smiles and returns. Never seen a badge like that before. Either it's fake or some kind of security guard. He grabs it. Either way, it ends the same. I think we're done talking. think those guys were Triad? Not sure. I don't recognize the tattoos. Another gate panel. This one's been vandalized and rusted up good. A real nightmare repair job. Wu stares at her at the fence, considering loops and rolls of base of wire glitter in the lamplight. This edge of monofilament. The corporations here don't fuck around. Why don't we cut ourselves an opening? Shake shakes her head. Even if you could, it'd snap back at you. Ever seen a high tension wire whip through a human body? You don't want to see it. We aren't touching it. How about it, Carter? Think you get the gate open? She winks at him. What do you think? Take a few minutes though. Finally, she leans in to get a close look at the mango fuse box. A few seconds later, she starts pulling wires, yanking fuses. A lot of intense concentration on her. I thought she was a mage. In Cantonese, Julianne. I thought she was a mage. She is. Carter likes to know how things work. She used to be on the bomb squad. Continues in Cantonese. We speak only Cantonese from now on. Just like we did when we lived in Raymond's. Those endless drills are about to pay off. It's coming back to me. Won't be a problem. He nods once, satisfied, and turns his back, skins her eyes, and at least you can still handle yourself in a fight. So you're Lone Star now, huh? His back still to you, that's right. Aren't you wondering what I've been up to the last 8 years? Nope. Still giving you his back. Silence between you gets louder, heavier, but it's broken by a sudden wailing screech. Wu's hands goes to his holster. Screech replaced by the sound of grinding wheels. Glancing over the console, you see Carter grinning back at you. Got it. Light from nearby Vanderstal stabs into your eyes, triggering a throbbing ache in the back of the skull. You stop short, squinting, as rough voice drifts in the wind. Where's everyone else? Where's the damn shipment? Haven't seen them yet, we just got here. The voice becomes irritated. Long ways probably waiting for us so we can haul it all out of the boat for him. That lazy bat. Let's hang out here. Let him find us. Looks like we're on a stroll through Smuggler Central. These gangers don't know we're here. We could probably just slip past. Or we could clip them. They're really looking for us. Might be better to take them out now while we got the element of surprise on our side. What the fuck are you doing back here, Carter? Locked? Fuck. I mean, I know I'm not like a ninja or anything, but damn. Crossing the street, you make out four shadowy figures loitering in the plaza ahead. A troll, an orc, a dwarf, and an elf. Two men, two women. They're different from the smugglers of the dock. Alert, poised, professional. You can see they've made a token attempt to conceal their weapons. The unspoken message is clear. We're strapped, mind your manners. Who stands up tall? Takes that amused tone he gets whenever he's standing toe-to-toe with someone bigger, someone who doesn't know they're about to go down. Evening, folks. You got permits for those bazookas? The thick troll pulls his mouth into a comic frown. Permits? Give me a minute. He makes a show pat in his pocket. Nope, guess not. Must have dropped mine in the dumpster along with the last idiot who stepped to us. Wu coolly surveys the scene, nods in a friendly fashion. Is that right? Well then. You can almost feel Wu's cop's training kicking in. It's like watching a drone execute a command routine. He reaches for his rifle, brings it up quickly, but it's too late. By the time he hits shoulder level, a swarm of the nasty-looking Ornus already trained on his head. Carter backs him up. She whips her arm forward, fist blazing with magical fire. Her eyes sweep the scene, darting from one to another. All right, everyone, just be cool. Thick Troll's voice is casual, amused. He shakes his gun in Wu's face. A little late for that, isn't it? I put my hands in my pocket. Listen, guys, my stomach's doing somersaults. How about we all put our guns away before someone gets hurt? Thick Troll snorts a laugh. That guy looks like he could use an enema. Something we can do for you, officer? Wu's jaws tighten, but his tone stays cool and controlled. Looking for an old man, Raymond Black. We're supposed to meet him here. You know him? Wu's voice gets an edge. You can see the vein in his temple start to pulse. Where is he? Carter sees it too. Keeps her voice neutral. Easy, Duncan. Troll maintains amused eye contact, but his weapons stay trained on Wu. That's right, easy, Duncan. Your friend Raymond never showed. We were waiting for him for the better part of an hour. You were gonna meet with Raymond? So you're his tour guides, right? Kinda, yeah. The old man hired us to take you on an excursion. Hired you? He takes a moment, looks them over, his brow furrows. They're not assortment, a cybered-up troll, an orc girl with magic fetishes, a dwarf with a cyber deck slung on her back, and a tall elf standing behind them quietly, inscrutable, all with guns trained on Wu. Understanding spreads across Wu's face, his jaw tightens. You're Shadowrunners. Troll nods again. Wu soldier creep up, his stance tighter. This is bullshit. Raymond would never hire Shadowrunners. They're criminals. Mercenary operatives, the troll corrects him. Dwarf cuts in, her voice is soft but strong. Criminal mercenary operatives. Young orc. So yeah, you're right. Your buddy Raymond was associated with a bunch of hardened criminals. Troll tosses Wu a sideways smile while staring at the barrel of his gun. Sorry to burst your bubble, Lone Star. Guess you didn't know the old man as well as you thought, huh? Wu tries to shake it off, but he's struggling to process the information. You can feel the heat coming off him. The runners sense it too, and they tense up tight. They're keyed on Duncan, and their guns are big. Looks like their faces make it clear. The looks on their face make it clear. One wrong beat of sweat, and Wu's going down in a red mist cloud. Carter remains completely still. Her voice is level, moderate. She's done this before. Let's all stay focused. No need for this to get ugly. She peeks quietly to Wu, who listens without turning, his focus squarely on the troll. We need to find Raymond. These are the people who can help us do that. It's about money, right? Let's talk about the money. Joe is wary but willing. He lifts the barrel of the gun slightly. I like talking about money. You can tell the orc girl's had enough tension. She blurts it out. The old man wanted us taken to the Kowloon walled city. She raised her hand at the three of you. You two. Two large rats clinging to her hip and shoulder poke their heads out and folds her clothing. And fold it out of the folds of her clothing. They fix their beady eyes on you intently. You know the walled city? Slum, right? I've heard of it. The girl sneers over her head. It's a shithole. Worst slum in the Eastern Hemisphere. Memories of growing up in Redmond Barrens flashes through your mind. We get it. It's a real bad place. Now, why would the little old man pay you to take him there? Dwarf standing next to her nods and jumps in. Wouldn't say. He mumbled a lot, too. Just kept rambling on and on that he had to get in. Under ordinary circumstances, I never accept the gig. The walled city's the last place I want to go. But the old man rolled up a truckload of Ewan. You gotta eat, right? Wu missed a glance at you. His weapon remains trained on the Shadowrunners, but a flicker of uncertainty plays across his face. Interesting story. Seems like a good time to ramp down the threat of violence, don't you think? Sure, flash you a smile that's all tuss and no warmth. Okay, gang, I tell you what. He looks at his team as he slowly starts to lower his arm. We're gonna put our guns down. Carter! Snipers, take cover. That's not good. Okay, I fucked up the take cover part. Not a high caliber rifle shot tased in the end. A red dot of laser sight to sweep the area. Part of the troll and the silent elf lie dead in a winding pools of blood, their heads broken open like melons through a drop from a four-story building. York girl's speech recovered. Nightjar, come on! Big man, talk to me! Good shot! Oh no. Oh shit, this isn't good. She turns to the dwarf, her eyes wild with fear. Voice flares over the loudspeaker. This is the police! Lay down your weapons, put your hands behind your head, and come out where we can see you. Duncan Wu, Julianne Moore, come out, we can see you. You have 3 seconds. Duncan crouches behind cover, his gaze locked on Carter's corpse. His voice comes out in a hoarse roar. Stand down, damn it, I'm law enforcement. Lone Star! He's driven deeper into cover by a hail of gunfire. Dwarf shakes her head at him, her voice is flat. Save her breath, they won't listen. Use your eyes, these bastards aren't here to make her rest. The sniper shot hits the wall next to her head, showering her in an explosion of plaster. We need our way out of here. Stay down, Duncan, are you hurt? Everyone back down, just give me a minute. Rat girl stares at the ground intently as if listening to her. Then her brow furrows, her eyes go beady, her nose wrinkles up. She begins to sway back and forth, her lips moving soundlessly. Snaps out of her trance. Okay, I've got a way out. It's at the end of the street. Everyone come with me. Everyone, we don't need to rent the cops. Stop it. We're the only ones. Little orc whips her head towards her friend. The extra firepower is... God is a nice, but we gotta make it past the heat. And we can't shoot our way out of this on our own. If nothing else, they can soak up a few rounds for us. Stick to cover. Keep close. The door at the end of the street leads to the back alley. That's how far to actually fall behind. You get left behind. Well, I fucked up. Well, this is first off. I didn't know you were watching. This is a separate game. This is not the game that we started with. But I moved my drone into the line of sight of the sniper instead of going to cover properly because I thought the fight had already started. And I don't have a drone now. Considering that's my whole build. That's that. Drone control, set a remote command to override the drone's IFF. Yeah, let's do that now. These drones now ignore previous orders and fire on their masses. Like that. Oh, I hacked the cops' drones. I hope that's enough, but this looks bad. My main character is basically completely unarmed right now. So she's just gonna book it out of here before it all goes really bad. Damn it. Ouch. I don't need to kill this last cop, but fucking die. The rat shaman guides you from the doorway on the street through the eternity of winding alleys, damp sub-basements, and empty buildings. Stumbling through refuse and filth, you make your way into the sewers below Victoria Harbor. It reeks down here, but it's quiet. Gobbet stops, sniffs, wipes her eyes with the back of her wrist. Wipes her eyes with the back of her wrist. Her rack squeaks softly to the folds of her clothing. The dwarf watches her silently for a moment and moves closer and gently takes her hand. In the dim light of the sewers, you can see they're nearly the same age, no more than 20, 21 tops. What were their names? She keeps her head down, tells it to the floor. The troll you were talking to was Nightjar. He was our friend. The elf was called Gutshot, kind of an asshole, but I didn't need to see his head splattered everywhere like that. Nightjar was a good guy. She inhales a cleansing breath. Always had our back, Isabel's in mine. This is what nods Riemann, her voice is flat. Rare to find a runner that you actually trust. She looks to her friend. Are we clear? Gobbet looks back the way we came. I think we're shaking them. She sniffs the air. Yeah, we're clear. Wu begins pacing, his boots splashing in the sewer water, creating echoes from down the tunnel. You can feel the tension coming off in the waves. This is bullshit! I'm done messing around in alleys and sewers. I'm done running from the cops. He pokes a thumb in his chest, spits anger forth in raspy growl. For fuck's sake, I am a cop. We noticed. There's a Lone Star Sergeant dead back there. Damn, she was... Wu starts to choke up. He struggles against the finding to maintain control, but he needs a minute to recover. He finally managed to pull it together, but he's raw. And he speaks again, his voice is seething and hoarse. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Hong Kong cops, but I'm calling in some Lone Star backup from home. I'm gonna get some of my own people down here. Then we're gonna find Raymond, we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on. Little orc shrugs. Whatever you say, big guy, have fun with that. She looks over at her friend, they both nod. Izzy and I are out of here. Best of luck finding your friend. The people die in a hail of sniper fire, you're not gonna do anything about it? Of course we're going to do something about it. In fact, we're going to do two things. Run and hide. Look, we got you to safety, but now we are done with this shit. We don't intend to die for you. Who is listening? You can see on his face that he's already written the Orko off. He pulls a security-grade PDA from his holster on his left leg, raises it, starts tapping buttons with a meaty finger. The Lone Star logo on the back of the device looks shiny and official. He stops confused and taps it again. The red flash name on the PDA reflects in his goggles. What the hell? I'm locked out of the network. He looks up to you. My law enforcement status has been revoked. He goes back to the screen. I don't believe it. There's an APB out for us, Julian. You and me both. Figured as much. You heard him on the loudspeaker. They knew our names. Wu glares at the wall, a storm raging across his face. Fucking hell. His hand clenches into a fist around his PDA. This just keeps getting worse. He leans forward to punch the wall, his knuckles rapping against it softly, a pantomime of barely constrained rage. Suddenly he turns and slings his PDA at the far wall. It hits hard, bounces back, clatters at the ground at his feet. He looks down and it's spent. York mouths an okay to herself, raises eyebrows raised. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Come on, Isabel, let's... She's cut off by sudden smashing noise as her friend's boot comes crashing down a PDA at Wu's feet. Dwarf looks down at her work, unsatisfied, and brings the boot down again and again and again until there's nothing but a stall of plastic housing, broken glass, and a circuit board. She looks up at Wu, her chest heaving, and points to the pile of scraps she's created. Police issued. They can trace you through that. She turns to you, hand out yours too. It's on the network. Smash it yourself. We bury our own. You crush the PDA, shards under your foot while Isabel looks blankly. Good. She looks over at Goblet's size, then reaches into her pocket, pulling 2 new PDAs. She hands them to you. Burners, I suppose the least we can do. Thanks. You people always keep a supply of burners in your pocket? Well, they need to be prepared for contingencies. Isn't that right, Isabel isn't listening. She's staring open mouth at her PDA. It is bluish, its bluish glow eliminating her horrified expression. Goblet, we gotta go. Right now. Isabel's voice is monotonic but empathetic. She holds up the PA to her friend. They're after us too. Her screen displays a local newscast. Your own face stares back at you from the upper left corner of the screen. And in breaking news, just under an hour ago, Hong Kong port authorities were involved in a firefight with members of a terrorist cell linked to the mainland city-state of Henan. The battle left 3 terrorists dead, along with an unconfirmed number of Hong Kong police officers. Your image winks out, replaced by a scowling mugshot of Duncan. Mugshot from a long time ago, from before Raymond. Our sources report that Seattle natives Duncan Wu and Julianne Moore, along with their Hong Kong-based accomplices, are still at large. They are well armed and should be considered extremely dangerous. Low-res photographs of Gob and Isabel pop on the screen, replacing Duncan Wu. Color drains out of Gob's. Oh shit. Kowloon officials report that the terrorist cell known as the White Star maintained ties to the state of Henan, and it is reported to be receiving weapons and funding from anti-corporate groups in the UCAS city-state of Seattle. Port authorities are standing on high alert, and the Hong Kong Police Force's Special Duties Unit has been engaged to deal with the threat. We go live. Chief Inspector Crate of the behind the newscaster video window displays the location of the firefight in Victoria Harbor. Camera pans to Chief Inspector Crate. She is surrounded by a swarm of news reporters, but appears unfazed by the attention. She speaks with supreme confidence. We have yet to ascertain the motives of tonight's attacks, but it was clearly a well-planned and coordinated effort. Crate sounds smooth, more like a corporate mouthpiece than a cop. We have already issued an all-points bulletin along with a kill or capture order for the 4 remaining terrorists, and I have instructed Special Duties Unit to make this manhunt a... I should have fucking scrolled down, I guess. She looks at the camera. If you should see one or more of these individuals, do not attempt to engage them. Instead, tap in the Hong Kong Police Force flash code on the bottom of the screen. If you are on an authorized network, take a picture. Our system will automatically identify them in your data stream. Becca switches off the newscast, clips her PDA back onto her belt. For a moment, there is no sound but the roar of sewer water rushing through the pipes. Gobbet bends over, hands on her knees, sucking in wind. Her rack scurries to her new position. I thought we're fucked before, Wu's voice is eerily calm. But now we're well and truly fucked. We'll deal with it, Duncan, we always do. Wu's mouth ties, not this time, Julianne. He begins stalking back and forth, a panther in a cage. They've labeled us terrorists and there's an APB out on us. I've heard this kind of announcement before. I know what comes with it. It doesn't matter if we have nothing to do with whatever city-state. They're gonna hunt us down. It's open season. Isabel nudges the remainder of Wu's PDA with her Bruto, and the 2 of us will be hunted down right alongside with you. Gobbet wide eyes the exit, tight as a spring. You can hear Shallow panting as she leans towards one, then the other. We gotta go deep. Hit the mainland for a while until we can figure this out. Find a hole to crawl into. Gobbet looks at Isabel, wipes her mouth, and points at Duncan. We gotta get them off the grid too, way off. Dwarf looks up at Duncan and her eyes narrow. Hey, Lone Star. You've got a security license, right? That means you've got a SIN too. Ooh, Burroughs Farrow. Of course I have a SIN. Otherwise, I wouldn't get paid otherwise. Only criminals and lowlifes go sinless. She runs her hands along her side of that thinking. That means you can betrays both of you. You get spotted by a drone or security camera, you get ID by reticle scanner, or try to use a cred stick or passport, and the Hong Kong police force will know just where to find you. Wu crossed his arm across his chest. I know how a system identification number works, runner. We're gonna have to burn our sins if we're gonna survive this. You got that right, Seattle. God pulls out all her dreadlocks. We're just as screwed as you are. Me and we were listed as your accomplices. We can't afford for you to get caught. You lead them to us one way or another. DNA samples, things we've told you, Asher residue, I don't know, cop stuff. Rebecca looks from you to Wu, eyes narrowed, sizing you up. You can see her make silent decisions before she speaks. Her voice is flat, resigned. You need to get your sins burned, delete you from the records. All of them. All of them? Whoa, wait a minute. You want us to erase our identities? Wu rubs a hand across his scalp. Beyond the fact that it's insane, would that even work? If we burn our sins, go off grid like that, won't they just redouble their effort to find us? Condescension seeps into Isabel's tone. Imagine playing a game of hide and seek with a siren strapped to your head. Would you rather try and hide with a siren? Or with the siren conspicuously absent? Being identities across the entire matrix sounds hard, though. Little Decker nods on. It's very difficult. I can't do it. Some people can. Organizations, expert systems. Got my voice drops. We gotta ask for help. There's only one person we know who has the kind of pull it takes to burn sin and hide this, or the cops. And that's Kylie Chan. Let me guess. This Kylie Chan is some sort of underworld hard ass, like a walnut. She's she's known as a straw sandal, kind of a middle management for the Yellow Lotus Syndicate, the Triad. Kylie Chang controls the illegal activity in the neighborhood, smuggling, bootlegging, counterfeiting. Middle manager, the Yellow Lotus a syndicate or retail outlet. God believes in and seals his death. Not get the wrong impression. Kylie Chen is no bureaucrat. She controls a good-sized portion of Kowloon's underworld. She has soldiers, resources, she's smart. She is not to be underestimated. Isabel's voice is hollow and flat. Taking favors from a woman like Kylie Chang is a good way to get yourself into indentured servitude. Don't want to owe favors to a woman like that. Eyes get big, round. Ideally, you don't want to deal with her at all. That was Nightjar's job. Nightjar's job? You mean you work with her? What did we just tell you? She's got her fingers in everything, including brokering shadow runs for the court. Kylie Chang is our fixer. Daba tries to make her voice light, confident. Just stay on her good side and you have nothing to worry about. Now let's get this done before one of you trips the APB and brings all hell down upon us. I'm actually going to call it here.